What is up, car addicts? In this video, we'll be talking about this week's Triple Money Event Week as well as the property and vehicle discounts. This event week is for January 20th through January 26, 2022. So we of course received the brand new Obey iWagon that was added today, which is an electric SUV that cost over $1.7 million with pretty underwhelming performance and customization. So whether or not it's worth it is completely up to you. Personally, I don't think the car is worth its price tag. And for those of you who've been following the drip feed cars, you'll know that we only have 2 drip feed vehicles left if we don't count the Baller ST that was temporarily released. So we only have about 2 or 3 weeks left of drip feed cars. Also guys, I want to mention my friends Emperor, Edub, and I have made a brand new series that's very similar to GTA GeoGuessr, but with cars instead. So we've called it GTA Car Guesser, which involves us trying to figure out what a car is based on very obscure up-close images of them. It's very entertaining and I absolutely loved it. The first episode is now live on my friend Emperor's channel, so make sure you guys check that out. I'll leave it linked down below in the pinned comment. If you guys enjoy that series, I may consider bringing it to my channel as well, and possibly inviting some special guests in the future, which I think would be very cool. But anyways, the current prize ride for this week is the Calico GTF, which is the exact same car we had on the prize ride about 3 months ago with the same livery and everything. And this has been a pattern as we've seen with the past few event weeks where Rockstar just keeps repeating the same tuner DLC prize ride cars over and over. But anyways, the Calico GTF has a normal price of about $2 million and a trade price of about $1.5 million. So to get this car for free, you have to place top 1 in a Pursuit Series race for 5 days in a row. So Rockstar is making you get first place in a Pursuit Series race for 5 days in a row. I think that's a little overkill personally. I know it's one of the faster cars for tuner DLC races, but still, I think the challenge is a lot more difficult than it needs to be, especially for players who aren't that great at racing. Now in terms of the casino podium vehicle, we have the Declasse Drift Tampa. This car is primarily based on Ken Block's Hoonicorn RTR Mustang. It has a normal price of just under $1 million, and ironically is called the Drift Tampa, even though it can barely drift at all. Now in terms of performance, this car is in the sports car class, not the muscle car class, and it's one of the worst for that class in terms of racing, around 70th place, which is just awful. Plus it has no visual customization, and it's not really all that great of a car. I personally wouldn't spend too much time trying to get it off the wheel. Alright, so starting off with the property discounts, we have 30% off the armory upgrade for the agency property, but not the agency itself. I don't understand why. It's just that random one upgrade, but some Rockstar logic there, I suppose. Moving on to vehicle discounts, we have 40% off the Emperor Vector. This of course is one of the cars from the Tuners DLC, so remember it does have the speed nerf, and the handbrake boost is disabled. This car will probably be on the prize ride soon, so I really wouldn't worry too much about buying it. Next up, we have 40% off the Coquette D10, a pretty awesome sports car based on the C8 Corvette. It just really handles bad in GTA, and the acceleration is pretty bad as well. Its only strength is really top speed. It's more of a car you buy for the styling and the top speed for highway cruises and stuff like that, but it's not a really good overall package of a car, unfortunately. Moving on to the Benny's website, we have 40% off the Itali GTB, which is an average performing supercar, and the GTB custom conversion cost upgrade as well, bringing it down to $297,000 instead of the usual $500,000 for that custom conversion cost. Now, I will say the custom variant does have a higher top speed and slightly acceleration in comparison to the standard one. However, the regular one does handle better, giving it a better lap time around most tracks, but honestly, they're both way off the pace of the top supercars anyways, so you might as well get the Benny's upgrade installed on it. Moving on to the Warstock website, we have 40% off the Barrage. This vehicle is very slow and is awful at off-roading, and the weapons are pretty decent, but honestly the Insurgent Pickup Custom is just a better overall vehicle. Next up, we have 50% off the Blazer Aqua. So this is a pretty cool vehicle that's basically an ATV that turns into a jet ski pretty much. It's a pretty decent price with this discount, but keep in mind that you do need to own a special vehicle warehouse in order to purchase it. Moving along, we have 40% off the Armored Boxville, a pretty useless vehicle with no explosive armor, therefore I don't really recommend buying this one. And lastly, we have a massive 60% discount on the Wastelander, bringing the price down to only $198,000 if you have the trade price. I think that's a really good deal for this week. Now, just like the Slam truck, the flatbed doesn't hold cars on it, but you can try to get some on there for photos and stuff. Just keep in mind that if you drive away or start moving, the car will just slide right off. Also, the Wastelander is one of the better off-roaders that can go through most rivers in game without dying. I really enjoy this one personally. However, do bear in mind that just like the last two vehicles, you do need to own a special vehicle warehouse in order to purchase this Wastelander. In terms of weapon discounts, we have 30% off the recently added stun gun and the EMP launcher as well. The stun gun is pretty fun for trolling, and the EMP launcher really isn't all that great. I mean, overall, these two weapons, they're not really all that useful for free mode situations. They're more for trolling and stuff like that. In terms of triple money, we have triple money NRP on semi and contact missions, which is pretty cool. These can make some pretty decent money, especially for players who are newer to the game. Next up, we have double money NRP on the adversary mode hardest target. And lastly, the South Central League mission for the Dr. Dre contract is also double money NRP for this week. Moving on to the Prime Gaming discounts for Prime Gaming members only. So again, same as the last few months, we sadly don't have any Prime Gaming discounts currently in game. The only thing we have is the usual free $100,000 for logging in during the event week period. And lastly, we have the RC Bandito time trial Vespucci Canals. This week's normal time trial is Del Perro Pier. I highly recommend either the Shotaro, Hakachu Drag, Batty 801, or a quick car for that time trial. And the premium race for this week is the muscle car race Down the Drain. I highly recommend the Buffalo STX for that race. Pretty much every other muscle car is sadly way off the pace, so if you don't own a Buffalo STX, I wouldn't even try to do this premium race this week. Also, every Friday I post a guide on how to easily beat the time trials and premium race, so stay tuned for that if you're new. Anyways guys, hope this was helpful. Overall, this event week is pretty decent, but not really that great like last week's event week. I really hope next week is better, maybe some double money on businesses. I think that really needs to happen, because the drip feed cars honestly just aren't enough to bring most players back. Anyways guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.